Welcome to Dr. Atomix Toxic Reviews! Here we scrape the nuclear waste that is found in the darkest corners of the cinematic world and bring it up to the surface for you to feed upon and gaze and gawk at the vile display. Here we feast upon our first masochistic masterpiece, known as the Microwave Massacre. As you can see, director Wayne Berwick wanted us to know who the stars of the film were right from the beginning. What a kind young lady, deciding to offer all these hungry construction workers a fresh hot slice of pizza. This film definitely strikes me as something that started out as a porno movie, but they couldn't find any guys that these girls wanted to fuck, so they just put together this script on the spot.
Oh man, you still ain't got it. You're still flunking cool. You gotta first feel music.
I can't understand that, Rosie. How can I feel music?
You gotta...
That's right, folks. You're witnessing quite possibly the first time in history of a white guy had to teach a black man how to dance.
You wouldn't have any mustard there, would you?
No, I don't.
Gee, what I'd give for a good old bologna and cheese.
Here we meet our half-witted hero, Donald, who suffers from the great strife of his wife giving him crabs, and misses the days of bologna and cheese that he so yearns for. Then, after a long, hard day of women shoving their breasts through a whole other construction site, they decide to stop by a strip club that reeks of desperation and methamphetamine smoke. Here we are introduced to quite possibly the greatest character in the entire.
Better make it a double.
Just don't tell me why.
You know what it was today?
Tuesday.
Just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yes.
I found myself repeating that several times throughout the course of this film. After emptying out his pot alongside of his beer mug to an uncaring bartender, he decides to return to the source of his inner turmoil, the domestic dungeon. His home. Here, the torture of the night is his wife's flambe. The silent tension continues to rise as dinner arrives, and he puts her down.
Some men, you should know, still find me attractive.
How should I know them? I didn't attend the Braille Institute.
Comedian Jackie Vernon fronted this, and he wrote many of his famous one-liners from his stand-up routine, and they definitely worked it into the script, and quite frankly, it was the only saving grace at many points in this film. Here, Donald expresses his strife for the simplistic delicacies he oh so yearns for. Then she tells her, "The dog eats better than you! Why don't you try what he's having?" And Donald, being one of that guy, calls her bluff and makes a dog food sandwich tomorrow at work. Now, after updating his sex offender registration, Rosie decides to go back to work and try to hit on some girls instead of getting his job done. Like, seriously, actually doing construction on this construction site?
You know, if I've told you once, I've told you a million, billion, trillion times. Don't do that.
Then in an attempt to wash the taste of the dog food out of his mouth, Donald decides to stop by his favorite bar, with his bartender who doesn't give a goddamn about him. He tells him, "Go home, tell your 6-year wife, stop bothering me." And he listens. And it's time for Donald to take his stand.
I want a bologna and cheese sandwich for dinner. And I want it served in the garage.
What do you think you're doing, coming home drunk and asking for a peasant sandwich when I've slaved over that microwave all afternoon?
I didn't come home drunk. I've been drunk all day.
Then, to celebrate his separation from sobriety, Donald decides to throw himself a one-man party in the living room. Seriously, you know, this is how I reacted when I found out the Mexican pizza was discontinued.
Donald, there is something bothering you, isn't there?
After making the understatement of the century, his wife decides to put Donald's dinner right where it belongs. And Donald decides it's time to put her where she belongs. And the fourth wall break signifies that the murder is about to begin. Our hero awakens with a post-murder hangover, and he has himself a bad case of the munchies, so he decides to go to that microwave that his wife loves so much, where he makes himself a thrilling discovery. And he reacts the best possible way a man can.
It's in the microwave?
After making his attempts to destroy the evidence by chopping it up and hiding it in his fridge, he decides to give himself a little bit of a nibble of his own lady.
Hey, that's pretty good stuff.
Hey, Mikey, he likes it!
Yeah, not bad.
After Donald makes his thrilling discovery, he decides to make it his lunch and gives all the boys a little piece of the action to let them know exactly how sweet is the meat.
This meat is a little tough and old.
Oh, I'll take care of that, don't worry. I still haven't perfected a way to prepare it, but it'll be better next time.
As you can see, Donald has dug up Jeffrey Dahmer's old kebab recipe, but he realizes that he still needs another ingredient, so he goes down to the store to pick up some prime produce.
I could see how that could happen. You're not used to being on your feet too much.
Nobody's offered to take me off them tonight. Yet.
Say, you know, you look so much better in the dark.
So do you. Maybe you know an even darker place where we could go and, admire each other?
After exchanging pickup lines that sound like they came straight out of Night at the Roxbury, they return back to Donald's domicile for the most awkward sex scene of all time. Yes, according to the video that my father showed me on my 13th birthday, this is how it looked when I was conceived. Well, here's a fun fact. Do you know that this band, Jackie Vernon, also voiced Frosty the Snowman? Yes, that video you pretend to like every Christmas. And the next time you're watching it, imagine him saying this.
indeed a whore. Hey, you know, that was a great game, guys.
Then we find our cannibalistic connoisseur picking himself up some sandwich supplies when he runs into the poster child for smoking crack while you're pregnant.
Hey, what are you, some kind of nut or something? Get out of here. I got a business to run. Every kind of creep comes in here. Hello, Coast Guard? Coast clear? Good. Oh, it's you again. Well, we're closed.
So after his encounter with the crack baby of the century, he goes home and makes his most recent kill into a Lady of the Night sandwich. Fun fact, I was fired from Subway for the exact same thing. Then Don decides to do the responsible thing and go see himself a shrink. But luckily the shrink gives him the advice he needs to keep himself.
The problem is I can't make love to a woman unless I eat her.
Why not? This is the age of liberation, a time of romantic sophistication.
But you don't understand, Doc. I must do hideous things to her.
Oh, nonsense, nonsense. There's nothing hideous about compatible love. If it feels good, man, just do it, do it.
You're sure?
Then once Donald went home, he decided to take the good doc's advice and explore the new Peruvian heart attack fetish that's been going around. Then, as many heart attack survivors will tell you, after he got done with it, he sprang right to his feet and went about his business. And he decided to play my all-time favorite game of Chase the Head, when he was interrupted by his thoughtless, evil, wicked stepsister. She wanted to know where her sister was, and he was ready to show her. Then, once she found the head, he gave her the great prize, a fresh heart baguette.
Great, just great. What am I gonna do with this thing? Oh, no. No way. Not her.
This is a mixed compliment if there ever was one. Sorry, you're too ugly for me to eat you, so you're just gonna get tied up in the closet instead. After this, they basically yada 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 through him getting a pacemaker put in. And then after he jumps off the surgery board, he gets this advice.
Remember, a pacemaker is like any other electrical instrument, only of course a bit more complicated. But it must be maintained regularly.
Oh, I get it. Instead of regular physicals, I should have regular tune-ups.
Now at this point, I bet you're saying to yourself, hey, this is a movie from the 70s. I haven't seen anything racist yet. Well, we got you covered. Here you go. And literally, this has no context to it. They just shoot the black guy in the tribal gear, and then move on to the girl in the closet, and that's it. The editing in this movie makes absolutely no sense. It's like they threw the film in a blender and spun it around.
Hey, at least this crazy dude ain't prejudiced. Says here, the last girl who dropped out, black.
Now that's my kind of maniac. An equal opportunity rapist. Dog me today, Donald? Love it, love it.
So, the boys tell Donald that they'll be having themselves a little soiree tonight. Then they want him to do the catering. So our murderous melody hits the streets to get the sweetest of all the meats. I feel towards the end of the film the creators wanted to put their own artistic fingerprint on it. So they gave us this Russian metaphor of how 1 minute you're alive, scraping, getting the blood all over you, and the next minute your friends come to a party and find you dead on the floor off camera. Or maybe, just maybe, we have shitty editing. I'm going with the second one, honestly. But this is great, because this is when his friends find out exactly what Donald's secret ingredient really is.
I so see it, but I so don't believe it. Yes, sir. I know I'm gonna be sick.
Now, at about that time, Dr. Adrian Brody came onto the scene to find his sister-in-law and his 2 friends to reveal to the slower members of the audience how Donnie died.
Hey, look at this. Looks like somebody screwed up these wires.
Really? Damn, this thing's a death trap for anyone with a pacemaker.
That's the Microwave Massacre. My final critique is that it absolutely had no idea what it wanted to be. It acted like a porno movie, it acted like a horror movie, it acted like a comedy, and then at the end of the day, it failed at all 3.